I think I forgot how to just be. I've unlearned to not be ticking off boxes in a to-do list or working on items in a productivity tool. I've unlearned to just be myself somewhere. I don't know how, I don't know when, I just feel that it has happened. And I don't think it's a good thing. And I want to talk about this in the most truthful, honest, and direct way. So this video is just a long monologue, ideally with no cuts and no editing and no B-roll. And if you're not up to a long monologue, I won't feel offended. That's fine for me. I just think that in order to talk about this, I want to do it in that very direct way, because I think the topic deserves my respect, at least. If it deserves your respect in that way, you need to decide. And to talk about how this happened, well, I need to explain that I'm both a dad and a freelancer. And in the last years, given that our kids are still young, I've just switched between those two roles, between being a dad, where there's stuff to do, which I want to do, which I want to highlight. I love that role, and it's just a lot to do. And on the other hand, I'm a freelancer. And being a freelancer also means that, well, you are responsible. You are responsible of your results, right? It's your task that at the end of the month, you can take care of your family. And not just 1 month, but I've been a self-employed freelancer since 2018. And so there is, of course, always something to do. And if I'm not in one role, then I'm in the other role. And by the end of last year, I knew that I had hit a wall because my body was sending signals that something is not right. And so my health kind of felt a bit in danger. It was nothing really serious. I just felt like I somehow needed a break. And ever since, I've been thinking about my own productivity a lot. And I don't know so much about you, but when I'm in the role of being a creative freelancer, I, of course, think about productivity. And in my head, that means sit down and do something. Sit down at your laptop and work on something. But if you're a creative freelancer, well, in order to be able to breathe out, you also need to breathe in. So in order to get new ideas, you need to go out, you need to go for a walk, you need to go for a run, need to spend time with friends, need to see things that are unusual, unexpected, just so you're able to do your work even better. But even that has been very hard for me, because when I'm in that freelance work, creative mindset, I kind of force myself to sit down and do the work. And yes, if you look at creative freelancers, if you look at writers, artists of any kind, they also say that there is the obligation to do the work. People like Rick Rubin, that I mention a lot, say stuff like that all the time. You need to sit down and do the work. However, I wonder, when there are signals of my body, of my system, that clearly show maybe now isn't a good time to do the work, but now is a good time to take a break, then I still feel obliged. Well, I have those two roles, being a dad, family man, and being a creative freelancer. You can only switch between those two. And of course, and that's kind of the topic and the reason for this video, there is other roles. And of course, there is also this, well, just be, right? Sit down, take a break, and not do anything. And that's when another voice kicks in that says, well, but what about your self-worth? Are you then still worth the same? Because I don't know about you, but for me, I connect my own worth a lot to my own output, to the stuff that I create, to maybe the revenue that I can generate with the things that I do. Not so much on YouTube, because my YouTube channel is very small, but of course I have other revenue streams and other sources of income, for example, working with other creatives. And so it's very, very hard for me to even allow myself to just be. And this video isn't about me having solved this, because, like I said in the title, I think I forgot how to just be. So I'm still on that journey to trying to let this thought and also maybe this feeling re-enter my life, because in the last years there wasn't so much space for that, and being a freelancer makes it really hard to allow it. And what I'm interested in, of course, is that conversation, to have that conversation with other people who do creative work and maybe have the same roles. Maybe you're a mom, you're a dad, you do creative work, and you also switch between those roles. And whether or not it's easy for you to allow this to happen, to allow yourself to just be, or if you're like myself and you feel obliged to either be one or the other. And I don't know whether or not I'll be able to see a real difference in the next weeks or months to come. I know that by taking the signals that my body has sent me seriously, I know that I can already try and turn this around. I started exercising again, but also there, I sometimes don't know if, when my body says now isn't a good time, if I should take that seriously, or it's something where I should tell myself, well, now is actually the time to push through, because those times also exist. So that's it. That's where I am, and that's what I'm wondering. And I wonder if this is something that only happens to me, or if there are other people out there who feel the same. See, I told you. No cut. I think that's good.